Hasn't been too bad in the morning. I mean, definitely this morning I didn't feel like eating anything, but once I had like a sip of drink and then I had some breakfast, which I will talk about just quickly. The puree foods I've been having. The first one I had was my mum made a pork roast with vegetables and gravy, and I pureed that, and it was actually really nice. I know a lot of people think pureed meat's going to be really disgusting, but it really, because I had like gravy in it to thin it out a bit, and with like some potato and roasted carrots, I think gives that roasted flavor, and it really just tastes like roast, just like as if, I guess I've always been though that I can have like a bit of meat and a bit of veggie and some gravy on my fork and then put it in my mouth, so having all those flavors together is fine with me. But I know there are some people that really like specific flavors and they might have a bit more trouble, but I find doing like a roast and vegetables perfectly fine. Another sort of standby mushy protein that I did, there was a recipe on the gastricsleevesupport.com forum for a salmon mousse. I find I can just blitz up a can of salmon with the skin and the bones removed, and with like half or 3/4 of a tub of Philadelphia light cream cheese, and sort of I whiz that up and it goes quite thin, and then I put lemon rind and lemon juice in as well. I mean, it varies in thickness, but if I do the juice from the salmon can as well, then it's quite thin. But that's like full of protein, and I can just keep the bowl in the fridge, which helps it to set a bit as well. But I can basically just scoop out like 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup and just sit there, and basically if I don't feel like eating it, I can just put my spoon into it and then sort of lick it off my spoon. But other than, I mean, so that's a really nice easy one. The other one is I did make a zucchini slice, but I put the zucchinis in a food processor, and then once they were sort of pureed, I added the eggs to the food processor as well. I did spray the pan and saute onion and then Weight Watchers bacon, which is a really low fat bacon. Cut that up small and then sort of sauteed that off. And then once the onions had really caramelized, I had the zucchini and the eggs, and I put in some cheese as well into the food processor and like whizzed it all around. And then I just folded through the bacon and the onion and put it back into the pan, and then had it cook for a little bit, and then I put the pan into the oven, which sort of set it. I would have liked it if it was more solid. I guess it would be easier. I saw other people said you could bake them in a little mini muffin tray, and then you get little portions. I find I just keep it in the fridge, and I can just scoop out like about 1/2 cup at a time, and I just put it in the microwave. I do want to freeze some though, because it is a really handy go-to meal. I find I do have to chew the bacon until, I mean, I'm just aware of chewing the bacon, but the rest of it is completely soft. And I did put some Philadelphia cream cheese in that as well, so that's just to let you know. The other thing which they were talking about on a Facebook sleeve support page that I am a member of, about crustkets, that they really dissolve into nothing, so it's okay to eat crustkets. I like the corn crustkets the best, but I know you can get the different flavored, like different grains. But I found with the crustkets that it's great if I make like boiled egg and sort of puree that, mash that up with some mayonnaise, and I can put that on a crusket, or even if I just put some peanut butter on a crusket, if I'm really not very hungry but I want to have a bit of texture, and I just have to chew it, and it really does dissolve up into nothing. Like, I think it's the proof if you sort of leave it with a topping on it and you don't eat it straight away, it goes all soggy and mushy, and that sort of shows how, because it's so light and airy, that it's really nice to have something to crunch on, which is what I miss the most at the moment. So I've got another 1.5 weeks of puree diets to go, and then I'll be on soft foods, but I'm meeting my dietitian next week, and so I'm sure she'll go through evidence of soft foods with me. The Other thing is my stitches, because some of my stitches burst. It's going okay. Probably my biggest issue is that I keep getting a rash from the tape around. I've got opsite on the 2 holes, I guess, at the moment, which is alright, but there are times when the rash is really irritating, and I have taken to putting a cold flannel over it. I also got some Advantan cream. This is just the box of it, Advantan cream. Advantan, Advantan cream, which really helps with the rash. But I do find if I put that on and then I'm like, oh well, I want to put a dressing on, I can't, because it won't stick over the Advantan. So I've just got to be careful sort of timing what I want to do. But the bottom stitches are healing quite well. That's almost sort of filled up. It's sort of, when it heals, it's filling up from the bottom of the hole to the top. So that one's doing really well. The top one, it is right where my bra sits, and there's also a lot of pressure there. So it was a bigger hole, but I did get it first. It is filling up, but it's taking a long time, and that's one of the reasons why I think I've been really reluctant to try things like with my exercising. I want to though, but I sort of want to wait till next week when I see my surgeon to get the all clear of yes, wear a bra over it. I mean, infection is probably one of my biggest concerns, since I haven't had such a big concern with vomiting. I have vomited a couple of times, twice in fact, but both of them was I just ate too much too fast, and I knew that, and that was sort of my body saying, you've done that too fast. I didn't feel very well. I basically just regurgitated a bit, and didn't do that again. Whereas with these cuts, it is a risk of infection, and I start back at work on Friday, so hopefully the cuts will be healed by then. Okay, this has gone a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I guess it's 2 updates in one. Hopefully next week, Wednesday, I can do Wednesday. I think that'll be a good time, since it is exactly. I don't have numbers this week because my scales are pissing me off, basically. I saw someone else mention they weigh on a Wii, like a Wii Fit. I think we have one, so I'll check that. But otherwise, when I get weighed in at my dietitian, I'll have sort of my official weight, and I think that'll be the best way to tell. Because as far as my scales go, they're not being helpful. Like I'm weighing myself daily, which I guess I shouldn't do, but if anything, I've just been disappointed. So I'm trying not to pay attention to what my scales say and just keep doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing with my diet and keeping my fluids up. And you know, that's if my dietitian says that I need to start recording everything I eat, I could do that. It's more that I don't like when I have something, because a lot of it's all mixed together, I can't sort of say how much of each thing I'm having. But I'm sure I'll be at, she's lovely, Sally Johnston, she's written the Knife, Fork and Band cookbook for bariatric patients. I'm sure she'll be really lovely, so I will speak to her next week and let you know what happens. But apart from that, I'm feeling really great. Thanks so much for watching. I'm sorry it's gone a bit long. Really appreciate your feedback or comments, or if anyone else has had open stitches and dealing with that as an issue, that'd be really great to hear some feedback. And I'll just keep watching your videos and enjoying them, hopefully as much as you enjoy mine. Thanks everybody, bye.